Collins.
Taoiseach, yesterday Deputy Richard Boyd Barrett raised with you some very special or very serious questions in relation to the role of NAMA. Your reply, as usual, did not deal with the issues raised, so I'm going to try and make the matter very simple. Will your government, through the Minister responsible, instruct NAMA to provide, one, a map and details of land it currently holds, its locations, size, planning permissions and a commercial viability analysis. Two, provide a list of property portfolios, particularly vacant units. Three, who NAMA is selling properties to and for how much. And four, are NAMA receivers evicting tenants? This is information that is crucial if we are to have an informed debate on NAMA and the role it's currently playing, and why is a state agency selling new houses it's building at prices at the top of the market. It's selling 2- and 3-bedroom apartments in Dublin for 525,000 as starting prices, and it is pushing for the maximum prices and thus fueling rising house prices, and why it's not been used to solve the housing crisis and the rental crisis.
Yeah, I actually welcome the fact that you've raised this issue because I checked the issue that was raised by Deputy Boyd Barrett yesterday in the House, and the narrative I've received back is somewhat different to that presented to the House yesterday. So, for example, I think Deputy Boyd Barrett during Leaders' Questions, he made reference to the article in the Business Post in relation to properties located in Finglas, several of which were reported to have been vacant. NAMA does not own the apartments in question, rather NAMA acquired the debtors' loans, which were secured by various apartments located in a larger development in Finglas. The apartments were controlled by a receiver who was appointed in December 2012. While the apartments had been completed prior to NAMA acquiring the loans, the receiver discovered after his appointment that the apartments were not fully compliant with relevant health and safety requirements and needed necessary remediation works, which were funded by NAMA. NAMA provided in excess of 10 million funding to the receiver in order to remediate the apartments. This remediation commenced in 2017. 26 of the apartments, which were remediated first, were left vacant in order to temporarily house tenants who had to vacate other apartments in the wider development while the remediation works were being carried out on the units they occupied. Much different to what was presented yesterday. This is standard practice and ensures that tenants are appropriately accommodated in the same location while works are underway on their homes. These remediation works were not fully completed until 2020. At this point, unexpected delays were encountered due to the pandemic and the need to resolve complex legal issues, inter alia with Dublin City Council, which were not resolved until June of this year, of 2021. These issues impeded the receiver's ability to lease or sell the apartments sooner. As a result, apartments were not leased prior to being placed on the open market by the receiver in June 2021. Before placing the units on the market, NAMA confirmed with Dublin City Council that they had no appetite to acquire the units. While NAMA does not own residential properties, it ensures that its debtors and receivers keep vacant periods in residential properties to a minimum. So I think the presentation, as presented yesterday, does differ significantly from the facts there. There's a wider issue in terms of NAMA's overall role, and the legislation that underpinned the creation of NAMA was fundamentally different to that in terms of the housing situation that we're and the situation we're currently in. NAMA have offered on previous occasions blocks of housing and apartments to local authorities. Some have been taken up and some haven't been taken up. And there's an ongoing issue which we'll keep under review in terms of how NAMA evolves in the coming while and the contribution NAMA can make to resolving and to helping with provision of more housing and resolving the housing crisis.
Thanks, Taoiseach. What I know is that NAMA has 1.2 billion in funding reserves and 577 hectares of residential development land. That's a headline figure. That land holding and cash reserves are capable of delivering up to 80,000 affordable and cost rental homes. Now, we know that NAMA have been selling apartments for up to 500,000 and plus. what I want to do is put to you and your government that we must have a proper discussion and debate around NAMA and its role. We need that information. We need a map and the details of the land. That's what I asked you. It currently holds a list of property portfolios, particularly vacant units, who NAMA is selling properties to and for how much, and are NAMA receivers evicting tenants. I think that's going to be crucial to a conversation that all of us here in this House would benefit from, to actually have a proper debate around NAMA and its role.
First of all, I have no issue with the Deputy's point that we could do with a debate, and I have no issue with a debate in terms of NAMA's role. I think we're very clear that the statutory underpinning of NAMA is one that also has to be respected. NAMA represents the taxpayer and has an obligation to get value also for the taxpayer. Now, that has to be balanced with the current situation in relation to housing and our issues around housing. The Housing for All strategy provides unprecedented level of government funding to provide social houses. 9,000 to be built in 2021 is our target, affordable housing, and so forth. I welcome and will facilitate a debate in relation to NAMA and its role, but also in terms of those issues, like NAMA, in terms of its property portfolio, in terms of the maps and so on like that. I don't see any reason why they can't provide transparent information to the public at large and to the House.